All right, so you actually had a little taste of him on stage, and he's actually my co-producer. I don't like him, but you're gonna love him. He's actually hilarious. Please give it up for David Caffo.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. I am a co-producer. I'm very proud of this show tonight. It's a very diverse show. I think at least we had some women on, people of color. Eddie is Chinese. They were on our headliners from Nigeria. And me, I come from an office. Third generation. Yeah, my parents were first generation, my grandparents were first generation office workers. They only spoke DOS. No, I do have a little bit of diversity that I bring to the show. I am gay. Because my mother drank when she was pregnant. Putting that right out of the way. No, it's, and I got to admit, like, gay white men were yesterday's news. We're past, no, we are. It's like, we are coming in dead last in the Diversity Olympics. We are like the Jamaican bobsled team. We're invited, but everybody knows we're not going to win. I actually got my first office job in 1988. Just clap if you were not even born yet in 1988. Fuck all of you. No, it was tougher back then. I mean, you kind of had to be in the closet. I remember my first day. This guy from personnel pulls me aside and says, "You know what? You'll be fine in this company. There are only two things that can get you fired. Number one is stealing. The other one is being gay." Yeah, and I'm like, ugh. But it was okay because I'm lucky, and you can probably tell by looking at me that I'm one of these people that, if I need to, I can effectively hide pretty much everything I've ever stolen. Yeah. I am so old, it was called personnel back then. They hadn't even changed the name to human resources. And I never liked that name, human resources, because it sounds like humans are disposable. Like they went through a lot of human resources to build those stadiums for the World Cup. Too soon? 6 months ago. And now they're changing their name again. But it's all something different. Like anybody you talk to, my company now has changed it to People and Culture, which was literally the name of my 6th grade geography book. Right? And then there's human capital, which is worse than human resources. People connections, which is also a Christian dating app. And if you ask people in human resources why they're doing this, they tell you, oh, you're so feeling. They tell you, oh, it's because we want everybody to know exactly who we are based on the name of our department. And I'm thinking, well, if that's your goal, why don't you go with underappreciated middle children who couldn't make it as realtors? Oh, I am kidding, I'm kidding. I do not want to be offensive to any of my friends in the audience who work in real estate. No. 1988-89, working for this homophobic company, I'm in the closet, and I have my first boyfriend who worked at IKEA. And you could tell he came from IKEA because, like everything you get from IKEA, he was missing something. He was missing one ball. I'm not kidding, he only had one testicle. Which wasn't weird, it was actually kind of hot because when he got hard, it looked like a giant exclamation point. And that relationship was like everything you get from IKEA. After about 6 months of consistent use, it just fell apart. That was, it was tougher back then, I gotta tell you, the late 80s, early 90s. It's like for gay people, we didn't have Grindr. If we wanted to get a date, we had to haul our ass to the bar. You know, like old school grandpa style, walking in the snow, uphill, both directions, in heels. Oh, by the way, just in case there's anybody in this audience that does not know what Grindr is, it's a dating app like Hinge or Tinder. except with guys that women would actually want to fuck. But can't. And we didn't have it. But I'm not on Grindr anymore. I did sign up once, and I was honest. I put in a current profile pic, I put in my actual birth date, and Grindr runs this little algorithm when it creates your profile and gives you a profile name. Mine was Enjoy Tonight. I thought I was hot shit. Like, the Grindr wanted all the men in Toronto to enjoy me tonight, until I realized that Enjoy Tonight is that sticker that grocery stores put on meat and produce that's about to expire. Enjoy Tonight. If you scroll down a little bit, there it was underneath my picture. David Caffo, best before February 2008. Sad. For the record, it was my husband of 26 years that suggested I go on Grindr. Yeah, progressive. Actually, no, he had a very good reason. He's very supportive of me doing stand-up comedy. And he's like, hey, David, all these shows, all these straight comics doing stand-up about dating apps, you should go on Grindr, do a little bit of research, so you can do some comedy on it. And I'm like, wow. And I just want to share, because our relationship is built on trust. And he completely trusted that when I got on Grindr, I would be completely humiliated as the oldest person on there, and I would never go on that app again. And for you young people in the audience, these are things that build relationships, make them stronger, make them longer, because I will stay with him another 26 years if it takes that long just to get even with him for humiliating me that way. I guarantee that. It was, so I'm thinking back, being nostalgic here, difference between now and then. You know another thing that was harder in the late 80s, early 90s? Watching porn. Yeah, it wasn't online, it certainly wasn't free. Now, if you wanted to watch an adult video like circa 1990, you had to put on a ball cap, sweatpants, sunglasses. Tell your family you were going to the gym. Get in the car, drive to the adult bookstore, park 5 blocks away so nobody noticed your car. Get out, jog the remaining distance, pretend to get lost, then make it look like you were going into the adult bookstore to ask for directions. That was a hell of a lot of work just like for some personal gratification. But there's one thing I gotta say I liked back then. It was, the adult videos had dignity. Not like today. I have gone online and looked at like Pornhub. What you watch is disgusting. And it's all about family members. Like, screw your half-brother or make it with your step-aunt. I mean, does all your porn come from Alabama? I mean, I'm sure if you scroll enough through Pornhub, you're going to find it in there. My mother drank when I was pregnant. Watch. No, our porn had class to it. You know, because they named it, the titles were names based on actual movies, classy movies. You know, they were like little puns. It's like you flip through the bin in the adult bookstore and there was Casablanca, or Forrest Hump, Eat Me in St. Louis. And my personal favorite was always this DVD called Titanic. Titanic. I love that film just because of the tagline on the cover of the DVD. It was Titanic, a night where everybody goes down on something. Then and now. Okay, here's something that has not changed. I've been working now in offices 30, 35 years. I love messing with people at work. It is my favorite thing to do. It is the #1 item on my job description. And you want to know, you can steal this one. Feel free to take this. The best way to mess with a coworker, walk up to him, smile, and just say, hey, you know what? I had a dream about you last night. You will see body language so awkward it would make a mind jealous. Because what's the implication? You had a sex dream. And what's sad, I don't have sex dreams. I don't. I have tried. I would like to. I have tried everything. I have done No Nut November. I take my wedding ring off before I go to bed. I have tried watching porn about my step-uncle. Nothing. I've had one sex dream that I can actually remember, and it was back in September of 1998. And it was about Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito! The 90s. There was Harrison Ford, George Clooney, Denzel Washington. My subconscious brain comes up with Danny DeVito. Do you have any idea how embarrassing it is for a gay man to have a sex dream about somebody who has never won an Academy Award? I am a movie buff, by the way. One of the things I've seen change over the years is horror movies. Those are my favorite movies, are horror movies, and they have completely changed. It used to be like the 80s and 90s. You watched a horror movie, you knew, sadly, the minority person was going to die, and the blonde woman was going to survive. It was a guarantee, right? Not today. Like, you can root that, like, that blonde woman is going to get, like, killed by, it's like sayonara, Barbie. It's going to happen. And the other thing that's changed, though, is that the lead, the star, in older movies, older horror, never died. Like Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks, like they were going to make it. But that's not true today. It's like the star can actually be killed off in one of these horror movies. Like particularly when the cast includes Alec Baldwin. Face it, you like that. You don't want to admit it, you like that too. All right, one last comparison about then and now. Something that's changed in my lifetime is the Pride Parade. And it's cool, because back in like 88, 89, 90, like you could get fired from your job if you were seen there. If you wanted to go to the Pride Parade, you had to put on a ball cap, sunglasses, sweatpants to make your family think you were sneaking out doing porn. And then you kind of hid in the back. Like, so nobody would see you. It's not like today where it's just like this mainstream event and straight couples come and they bring the little kids and grandma and grandpa and let's go see the Pride Parade. And if I can get just a little bit serious for a moment, I really love going and seeing that and that celebration of diversity, because you see these families and they bring little Susie and she's out there, she's 7 years old and she's standing there in between her older brother and her younger sister. She's got her little hands up in the air and she's cheering and she's catching condoms. Going to go home and pray later. And, you know, for anybody, it's not just the queer community, for anybody that's ever been marginalized, it's a celebration of diversity, and it's so cool. And I look at little Susie there with her older brother and younger sister, and I think, wow, this is just amazing, because at some point, like 20 or 25 years from now, these diversity lessons that you're learning are just going to be so valuable to you when you wake up one day and you realize that you grew up as an underappreciated middle child or quitting real estate and starting a new career in human resources. Guys, thank you for coming out tonight. You are a fantastic crowd. My name is Mrs. Maisel. How do you doing?